What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Jared Anderson versus Andriy Rudenko, and this was a 10-rounder in the heavyweight division. And this fight was Saturday, August 26th from the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And this fight was broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or on the ESPN app. And in this fight, Jared Anderson was able to get a pretty impressive fifth round stoppage victory over Andriy Rudenko. So I had this bout scored 40-36 in Jared Anderson's favor. Really, it didn't look like for the first 4 rounds. Obviously, Anderson was hitting Rudenko a lot, but I thought it was going to go a little bit longer than that. But in the fifth round, Anderson really turned it up, and he's really the first man to actually stop Rudenko. Rudenko went 12 rounds with Povetkin some years ago, went 10 rounds with Zhile Zhang. And in his one fight that's listed as a stoppage prior to this one was against Vladislav Surenko, and in that one it was sort of a controversial stoppage. Like it really wasn't a true TKO, just as we saw here. But Anderson in the fifth round turned it up, got the stoppage win. And to break this fight down round by round, in round number one, the first 30 seconds, it was sort of interesting because Rudenko was able to land some good hooks on Anderson whilst Anderson was getting a little bit lazy, but really throughout that round, Anderson just had the better work. But Rudenko was able to land some decent shots. Then in round number two, Anderson was just doing much, much more with some combinations. Rudenko was there trying to throw shots, but they just weren't landing, just wasn't having success. Then round number three, Anderson was landing some good combinations to the body. At the third round, he was really starting to land some big, heavy power shots to the body. Same in round four, Anderson was just peppering Rudenko to the body with huge shots. Then in the fifth round, Rudenko landed a shot behind the head, I believe it was, that led to the referee deducting a point from him. And then later on in that round, Anderson was able to land some big combinations, back up Rudenko to the ropes, land some more huge shots. And then like 30 or 40 punches later, the referee finally stopped the fight after Anderson landed even more combinations to the head and to the body of Andriy Rudenko, and this fight was stopped by the referee, and I think it was a good stoppage. I mean, at some point I was thinking, it was making me think of the Rocky moment, if he dies, he dies, because Rudenko is just eating a ton of combinations from Anderson, and I gotta commend Rudenko. I mean, he's almost 40 years old, has been there with some of the best guys in the world in the heavyweight division. Zhang, who's top five, excuse me for that voice crack, but Zhang, who's top five, fought Povetkin when he was a monster, and I believe that fight was in Russia, so who knows if Povetkin could have been juiced in that one. And he's fought a lot of other very good guys, like Surenko, and also a lot of other guys in his other 3 losses besides those 3 that I just mentioned. But yeah, fought Anderson here, got stopped, but was eating his best shots, didn't go down, so props to him. But obviously Anderson was in there, did what he had to do, got the stoppage win in the 5th round. So this goes in the question, what is next for Jared Anderson? He's now 16-0, 15 knockouts. This was a good bounce back since his sort of underwhelming performance against Charles Martin, where against Charles Martin he got hurt twice, won a clear decision, but he still got hurt twice, got hit pretty bad in the 5th round. But in terms of what's next for him, prior to this fight, they were doing some, like, obviously pre-fight build up to this one, and they were saying that Anderson wants to still stay active, wants to fight again in like December, and who knows, he could take on Efe Ajagba, who just got a good win. Even though it was a DQ, he got a good win over Zan Kosabuski, who was undefeated going into that fight. So it could be Efe Ajagba next, could be someone else who's like a low level fighter that he gets an easy win over, and we could see Efe Ajagba later in 2024, or early in 2024, but yeah, I mean, Jared Anderson gets the win here, and I think in his next fight, if he fights in December, somewhere around there, we could see him take on a little heavyweight veteran, someone like a decent level. He could get an easy win over, or Efe Ajagba, something like that. But as for Andriy Rudenko, losing here for the 7th time in his career, I mean, for him, it's just basic stuff. I mean, it's really been the same throughout his career. He fights some lower level guys, pads up his wins a bit, because he really has 0 wins over guys who are of any decent level. So yeah, he's gonna pad up his record even more. Maybe go to 38-7 before taking on another prospect like this, losing, and just the cycle continues for him until he retires. So overall, Jared Anderson defeats Andriy Rudenko via fifth round stoppage to improve his record to 16-0 with 15 knockouts. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.